Hey folks, let's learn something new about the oil and gas industry. All right, today we're going to talk about 11 tips to help maximize your sales time if you're in oil and gas sales. So, number one, and I have trouble with this one a lot, just say no. Especially if you're a people pleaser, a lot of people can ask you to do a lot of things, and what happens is you end up diverting your time doing stuff that's non-productive, that's not good for your sales efforts. You have to learn how to say no. You can say no in a way that's respectful and where it doesn't aggravate people, but learning how to say no is one of the best ways to free up time for you to actually increase your oil and gas sales. Number two, focus on the bigger issues. Especially if you're a taskmaster, you can get caught up spending time on smaller issues and wanting to bring them to completion instead of stopping that and going back to that later and spending the time where you move the needle the most. So where in your sales efforts do you need to spend most of your time? Concentrate your time there and always focus on the bigger issues. Number three, and this is a big one, block out time in your calendar. Everything that you need to do in that day should be in your calendar. And that includes things like going to lunch, working out, phone calls. If you don't block that stuff off in your calendar, number one, it's not as real to you. And number two, especially if you work for a large company, people will look into your calendar, see that you have all this open space. And here's a tip that you may not want to tell your boss or your sales manager. If you need time to really buckle down on a big project, block out the whole day in your calendar, right? And put a sales meeting, right? Because it really is a sales meeting, even though it's with yourself. And this way people will leave you alone, you can get stuff done. Then stop multitasking. You really cannot multitask well. When you multitask, you divide up your attention a bunch of little things, and you give each thing a sliver of your attention. You're much better off, especially if you're worried about the quality of your work, to focus all of your time on one thing at a time. That way you can give it your full attention and get it done well. So stop multitasking. Next thing, and I'm guilty of this myself, turn off the tech. When you need to think about something, when you need to have an important phone call, when you need to have a one-on-one face-to-face meeting, put your cell phone in do not disturb. Turn off your email notifications. Turn off all the social media notifications. All that stuff distracts you and it keeps you from giving 100% of your true self to whatever you're trying to deal with. So turn off the tech. Then have an email spot. We're all inundated with emails. I mean, I personally get somewhere between 125 and 200 emails every day. And just having to claw through all that stuff. And just like you, probably 85 or 90% of them aren't anything I need to do something with, but I have to read them in order to figure that out. So pick a spot, whether it's a spot in your office, a Starbucks, a spot in your home, and give yourself a time period. We typically do this in the morning and the evenings where we sit down and slog through the emails. But if you have a physical spot, your brain will know that you can work on emails, which means that when you leave that spot, you're not worried about that and you can focus on the really important things. Then, here's a big one. During non-productive times, think car commutes, working out, traveling in an airplane, all that sort of stuff, learn. Warren Buffett famously said, the more you learn, the more you earn. And it's true. And there's a whole wider range of audiobooks and podcasts that you can listen to during these non-productive times and you can learn. If you're a salesperson, you need to learn your client's industry as good or better than they. And I promise you, you can do it during these non-productive times. Then, master delegation. You're a sales professional. You bring money into the company. You're one of the few people, if not the only people that do that. You're vital to your company's success. You probably have this whole support organization of admins, marketing people, sales engineers, product development people. Stuff that's not important to your sales efforts, push off your plate. Find the right person in your company and delegate to them. If you're a smaller company and you don't have these resources, think about picking up an intern or virtual assistant. Between $8 and $15 an hour, they can do a lot of this stuff for you, and you can spend your higher dollar time with things that are much more important, like closing deals. Then, sleep rules. I know a lot of y'all out there trying to burn the midnight oil and you don't get enough sleep and you get up early. You can only do that for so long and your performance degrades. You have to make sure you get enough sleep. If you get enough sleep, your body's allowed to heal, your brain is totally recharged, and you're sharp in your A game. Then, you've heard me tell you this before, I got this from Stephen Covey, the old sharpen the saw, but exercise and eat right. And yeah, I fall in that same trap that y'all are in, right? In oil and gas, every deal involves a meal and a drink or two. That's the culture of our industry. But that is a bit of an excuse. I'm going through this right now myself, where I allowed myself, I didn't stay tight on my diet for the last couple of years, and I put on about 25 pounds of body fat. The truth is, I can still go out to eat with clients and eat right. I'm doing it now, so proof's in the pudding. Then, sometimes you need to stop and take a break. We all lead such busy, such hectic lives that sometimes you can't think things through clearly. Get up. If you're in a cubicle, get up and walk around your office. Go outside, take a walk. Go jump on the treadmill. Disconnect for 10 or 15 minutes to allow you to kind of recharge mentally so you can come back and be just super sharp. Now, we went through 11 things really quick on how to maximize your sales times in oil and gas. If you like this, can you do me a favor and share it? There's some social share buttons right here. It makes it really easy. Just click on it and then take it, our blog post, and email it to any of your fellow sales or marketing people that may benefit this. And then y'all should all know this by now, but if you don't know this, we have the #1 and #2 podcast in oil and gas. It's Oil and Gas This Week, which is #1. Oil and Gas HS&E was #2, and we have plenty more podcasts coming down the road. So we're going to stick some links in the show notes. If you haven't started listening to the podcast, remember what I said about learning during non-productive times? We can help you with that. Go check them out. It might be valuable to you. So folks, I hope this helped. We will see you next time.